Anarchy Television, salute. Good morning. Shot Killings, Tanya D. Yo, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning to my freedom marchers, freedom lovers, freedom family, and freedom fighters. Snapzilla Gorilla is in the building, hitting y'all upside the mucky head with this morning paper. And oh, what a paper it is today. You eat bug spray, good for you. You're going to be eating more of that if Trump has any say about it. You're going to be eating bugs too. Anyway, how y'all doing this morning? Hope you guys had a great weekend. I'm a lot better. My voice is back. And we're going to talk about Donald Trump's, corporate ties, right? Donald Trump. And it's not just Donald Trump, right? It's not just Donald Trump. It's everybody within government, right? All the representatives, all the executives, right? They're all in the pocket for the corporations. And Donald Trump continues to demonstrate this every time he takes an action. Every time he opens his fucking mouth, he opens his mouth on behalf of the corporations. And this is something that we have to understand. And, every now and then, he'll throw you a little bone to give you the impression that he's working for you. Salute to Coach Hudson in the building. Salute to the comrade. Yes, Donald Trump is going to throw you a bone every now and then to convince you that he's doing something for the American people. Well, he's really not. Let's talk about this $2,000 stimulus or this $2,000 dividend that we're going to get from the tariffs or whatever the fuck. Well, listen, that $2,000, we're going to end up paying for that, right? So that's one thing we have to understand. And it's $2,000. Now, how often is it a one-time payment of $2,000? Is it once a month, once a week? How often are we going to get this $2,000? And who is going to get the $2,000? Well, it's going to be based on income, right? So that's another thing we have to understand. And the tariffs, obviously, the cost of the tariffs affects those corporations that are U.S. based that get products and imports from the countries that are being hit with tariffs. And those countries are going to pass off the cost to the corporations, and obviously the corporation is going to pass the cost down to you. It's like it's like every other tax, every other corporate tax, right? You know how they say, well, the corporations and all that, they pay the majority of the taxes in the country. But at the end of the day, they pay the cost of those taxes down to the American people through, of course, obviously, they're going to increase prices. They're going to increase the cost of services. This is what they do. Salute to Marcy T in the building as well. And the tariffs, listen, are we getting screwed by certain countries in these trade deals? Yes. And are the tariffs going to help reduce that? It depends on how you do it, right? If you do a 100% tariff, then these countries, right, are going to have a problem with that. And well, if it's like 10 or 20%, that's something that they can do. Am I back, y'all? Give me a Romeo Lima Charlie if I'm back. I don't know what the hell's going on. God damn it, bro. Let me know if I'm back. All right, salute to you. Thank you, Anarchy. Listen, this $2,000. Listen, it's not really shit. It's kind of like the COVID stimulus checks, right? What did that do in the end that I warned about? Not just me, a number of people warned about what would happen when Donald Trump signed over that $6.2 trillion and gave us a little chump change. Say, here you go. God, the largest wealth transfer, right? That's what that was. It was a wealth transfer from us to the corporations, right? And the closures of businesses. And now we get this $2,000. What is that really going to help? Did the tariffs achieve what they were supposed to achieve? Did it bring jobs back to the U.S.? How do we really benefit? Just a little $2,000. Here you go, guys. Shut the hell up. Take this $2,000. Right? Meanwhile, we're supposed to, the government is supposed to reopen, right? They have secured 8 votes from the Democrats in the Senate to pass a measure. Right now, they have to go and amend the shit. And then once they do that, they have to send it back to Congress, right? Now, there are those who don't believe that the government will reopen, those that believe it won't. Listen, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. They're going to drag this out as long as they can for it to make sense. And if it stops making sense, then they'll just reopen the government and it'll be back to business as usual. Yes, they are our enemies. Absolutely. They are our enemies. And guess what? We're allowing our enemies to rule over us and to dictate our lives and to control the economy. We are allowing our enemies to get away with murder, robbery, extortion, embezzlement, money laundering. This is what we're allowing our enemies to do. Our enemies are ruling over us, and they cut off, they say they shut down the government, and now they're talking about maybe reopening it. And what are they doing for it? What did the Democrats that caved, what are they getting out of it? Well, they're going to negotiate. The Republicans have opened the doors to negotiation for ACA subsidies, right? Also known as Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act. So the Democrats wanted to continue to fund subsidies for the ACA or Obamacare to make healthcare more affordable for Americans, right? Say what you want, but do not attack people with ad hominem attacks. Oh, is that what they're doing? They can't. There's nothing else they can do, March T. I mean, they don't really have anything else going on. So, what? I mean, that, and then also the rehiring of federal employees that were fired during the shutdown. So that's what they're supposed to be getting out of it. Okay, and it sounds like, okay, well, it sounds like something, right? We rehire these federal employees, and there's a possibility that by January, we can get the subsidies improved or the subsidies approved for the Affordable Care Act. But is it really affordable? Now, there are those that will tell you we can afford to provide free health care to the American people, complete free health care. That's not what the ACA does. By the way, it doesn't give total or complete free health care, right? The subsidies reduce premiums, right, for those who are on Medicare, Medicaid, and whatnot. And also, and that's what it does. It doesn't make it completely free. Can we afford it? Well, there are those who believe we can, because we already are paying a certain amount of money to the government each year, right? So that money is out of our pocket anyway. So all this does is, well, this determines where the money goes. Instead of funding the Defense Department, instead of increasing funding for the Defense Department so much, we reduce that and ship some of that money to healthcare. But can we even afford the budget that we are providing to the government? We are, what, $39 trillion in debt? But the government keeps spending. The government spends more. They redistribute our wealth to other countries. They spend our money with the defense contractors. These are things they do. They provide incentives to corporations, right? They work on the behalf of the corporations, the banks, the defense contractors, the prison industrial complex, all that. This is what they spend our money on. And they kick you down a little bit of that, right, through social programs that are supposed to help people in need. But the bureaucracy that runs these social programs wastes so much goddamn money, it's ridiculous. Stacey Abrams stole $2 billion. I'm sure she did. Well, yes, the money that we operate under, the fiat currency, yes, it's imaginary. Absolutely. Salute to us, Queen Latressa in the building. Salute to you. They don't have no money for you, but for everyone else. Exactly. You paid $0 for the ballroom. What are you talking about? Who paid for the ballroom? You think that Donald Trump paid for that out of his own pocket? Who paid for it? Who paid for the ballroom? Who paid for anything that the government does? You think the corporations pay? You think the defense contractors pay? No, they don't. What they do is they pay the representatives through lobbying. That's what they do. And then, the representatives and the president and any government official, they work on the behalf of the corporations, of the special interest groups. That's who they work on the behalf of. Meanwhile, we're footing the bill for all these things that the government does. See, the corporations, they kick down money and promises to the representatives, but they're not paying for any government actions, right? This goes in the pocket of the representatives and the executives. Yes, the U.S. is a corporation, and we are the commodity, right? It's going exactly. HGRR. Marcy says, "You who I just deleted." Oh, okay. Think about it. The shareholders pay for it, right? If all you hear is blah blah blah, why are you here? You are a sucker, a patsy, a mark, a fool. Okay, sure. But that doesn't change the facts. I could be a mark, a buster, or a fool. But what's the where? I'm still saying facts. These are just still facts, right? And now he's talking about 50-year mortgages. Who are these 50-year mortgages going to really help at the end of the day? Making up shit doesn't benefit. What am I making up? Read Pat. What am I making up? I'm making up the bankers? No, the bankers, I don't have to make up the bankers. They exist. They're real. And thanks to the Federal Reserve Act of 1913, we have given control of the monetary system to the bankers. Yeah. I don't understand. What am I making up? Bankers will benefit, you idiot. Read Pat. Do you even know what the fuck you're talking about or who you talking to? Y'all just come in here and start saying shit because you think you know what I'm talking about. Well, you really don't know what I'm talking about. If you're telling me it benefits the bankers as if I'm saying something different, then you're an idiot. I don't give a fuck if you're a mortgage fixer. I don't care what kind of mortgage motherfucker you is. You think I give a hot damn about that? What does that change? Telling me you're a mortgage banker. What does that mean? What does that substantiate? 50-year mortgages will not benefit the people. It will not benefit the person that's renting the house, because that's essentially what they're doing. It's basically a 50-year lease, right? And the average home buyer, the average first-time home buyer is 40 years old. So in this day and age, you typically will not be able to buy a house until you're 40 years old. So by the time you pay off that home, you'll be 90. And not only that, the interest rates that you will be paying will skyrocket, and the amount of equity you can get in a home will shrink. So from a 30-year mortgage to a 50-year mortgage, your interest rates will double. Essentially, it'll double. That's what's gonna happen. I don't care what kind of mortgage motherfucker you is. That's just the reality. You scam because we are original creditors. What the hell? Yes. The only the oh my godness, or the oh my, yeah. You will be paying an ass load of money for that home. I mean, even to even present a 50-year mortgage as an option to solve the problem of housing affordability is asinine, right? It's asinine. They create the problem, and the solution is, well, let's just increase the length of the loan and try to, hey, you'll save a couple $100. You'll save a couple $100 a month, but that will amount to what? Why would y'all think that would be beneficial? Why would Donald Trump even think that's a good thing? Going from a 30-year mortgage to a 50-year mortgage. That doesn't even make a lick of sense. Right? You'll own nothing and be happy. Exactly. See, Donald Trump of the corporate welfare recipients. This is corporate welfare, y'all. He will put things in place to ensure that the corporations make even more millions of dollars. So Donald Trump is not working on the behalf of the American people. He's working on the behalf of the corporations and the bankers and all that. But see, it's every president. That's what every president does. That's what Kamala Harris would have done. That's what Joe Biden did. That's what Obama did. That's what George H.W. Bush did. All the way back. You can go back as far as you can. Yeah, Docket says if you're paying property taxes on the home you own, then you're already paying rent. That's the difference. So you. Am I back? Yes. Republicans and Democrats are the same. Now, they present differently, right? Republicans and Democrats, they present differently, but they're not different, right? The lunatic libertarian says jobs that are reliant on triangle skill sets keep these systems of control running, along with the populace participating instead of circumventing them. True enough. That's why I preach opting out as a possibility. This is a possibility just to simply opt out of the system. If we do it in mass, they have no choice. They have no choice but to do what the fuck we want to do, right? But people don't want to do that. They don't want to come together and work in concert to take control of the government and turn it from a government into a service for the people. See, I don't like using the word government for the people because the government can't be for the people. Because government inherently is about a system of control. We can turn that into a system of service for the people. There are ways to do it, but see, it's a pipe dream. That's what I'm told. I'm told that what I believe should happen is there's no possible way it could happen. Because the way I'm looking at it is that a system should work for the people, right? The government works, right? That's what they'll tell you. They believe that I believe that the government doesn't work, that governments don't work, right? But governments do work. The governments do work. You know how they do work? They don't work for the people, though. They work for the corporations, the dominant culture. They work for the tyrants. That's what they work for. Governments don't work for us. But even then, it does not work 100% and in perpetuity. Because eventually, and the people, what they'll do is they'll start a revolution, they'll start something. And then when They have everything torn down to the ground. What do they want to do? What 9 times out of 10, the people that helped free the people, right? What do? They want to start another government. They want to put another government in its place. Salute to the little lunatic libertarian. I appreciate you. Thank you for subscribing. That's what the forefathers did, right, of this country. And see, this is why I have a problem with status, right? Especially black status. Black status, I don't understand why you believe that trying to make the system work for the people by using the system's rules and conditions are going to work. But you tell me the way I want to do it ain't going to work. So if you understand that this is an oppressive system designed to oppress the people, how do you think that you're going to make change positively for the people using this very system that's corrupt? Help me understand it. If my way don't work, which is to completely decouple from the system, completely decouple, tear it down, and not rebuild it. How's that not going to work? But your way is going to fucking work. Oh, we just got to vote. Oh, go out and vote. The vote matters. The vote counts. You just got to vote the right people in. Oh, yeah. They've been doing that for over 200 years. You think that your way is different? Oh, we'll just vote the right person in. They've been doing that for over 200 years. The fuck are we talking about? You think you have a new idea? Your idea is new. What? You see, when they won the Revolutionary War and freed themselves from the control of England and King George, they had an opportunity to shift the entire paradigm, to say, we will never centralize power anywhere ever again. Not overseas. We won't ever allow it to happen. We won't even allow it to happen right here in the United States. No, they couldn't leave well enough alone, could they? Were they well-intentioned? Probably. But that's where they fucked up. Oh, it's not a monarchy. We'll centralize the government. We'll create the Constitution. We'll have 3 branches. We'll have a balance of power amongst the 3 branches, a separation of powers. But nowhere in there does it say, well, it does actually allow for the people, right, to change things. It allows for people. Well, not really, right? Because you still had to do it their way. You had to vote for the right person. It's representative democracy. You got to vote for the right person. That's where they fucked up. You think because you can vote for a representative or vote for your ruler that they're not going to do or commit tyranny against you? See, the forefathers were looked at as visionaries. Really, they were just fucking idiots. They didn't understand, okay, we got one guy in power, King George. He rules by fiat, right? King George rules by fiat. Well, that's obviously not good for the people, right? Especially not over here in the United States. Why is he ruling by fiat from way over there over here? No, we need to break free of that control. So why would you break free of that control and then just create a centralized power over here and say, well, we'll just have a bunch of representatives and we'll have a judicial branch and blah, blah, blah. How do you think that? But you're still ceding power amongst a small group of people, a small group of elites. You're giving them power over in the masses of people. How is that different than a monarchy? The only difference is the number of monarchs. There's no longer a monarchy, right? The difference is you're just Okay, instead of one person ruling by fiat, we'll just have now 535 people ruling by fiat and a president. Hold on, guys. I'm doing a lot. All right, I gotta driving my daughter to school because it's cold. So anyway, y'all. So we that's what we did, and I hope you guys really understand that the judicial branch, the legislative branch, and the executive branch, they all work in concert to control, right? I hope we understand that. They work in concert. They act like they're not, but they are, right? So what do we have? Well, we really got shit going on for us. Because they're all being funded by the same corporations. They're all being funded by AIPAC, except for a couple. And it's not just AIPAC. There are other Zionist corporations, other Zionist special interest groups. And then you have, you got all the big interest, the big money interests. They are controlling. And I hope we understand, right? There is separation of powers. But which branch controls the enforcement arm of the United States government? The executive branch, right? The president. So how can you really ensure that your rule is supreme if you don't have control of the enforcement arm of the government? So what, like, can Congress place Donald Trump under arrest if Donald Trump gets out of pocket? No, not really. You have to impeach him and then prosecute him. Well, what if he refuses to leave? Well, the enforcement agencies, the federal enforcement agencies, and perhaps even the military, they would have to remove Trump from power. Right? That's how that would have to work. Yeah, it's called impeachment, but you can't, like Donald Trump is over there blowing up tiny boats in the Caribbean with impunity. He doesn't have to. There's no due process. There's just wholesale murder of South Americans. Wholesale murder of South Americans. Wholesale destruction of South American property. And he's not allowed to do this. He's violating international law. He should really be placed under arrest. But who's going to place him under arrest? Who's going to do it? They tried to impeach Donald Trump how many times? How'd that work out? Boats are blowing up international waters. Yeah, but who's going to do something about it? Salute the black spring with autumn. To big pharma. I want to talk about that as well. We have to talk about that wealth transfer. Right? We're going to talk about that. Somehow we found the money. We found the money to give to big pharma. How did we do that? But we couldn't find money for SNAP. Right? This is what we're dealing with, y'all. We have to listen. Donald Trump, y'all think he's different. Y'all think he's not a politician. No, he's in it with the corporations as well. He was bailed out by the Rothschilds Bank for the failure of Taj Mahal. All of them, man. They're all in the pocket. This is something we have to understand. The only real solution, I'm going to just be honest with y'all. The only real solution we have is to decentralize the government. That is the only solution we have. There is no other solution. There is no other way. Right? There just simply is not. What the hell? There is no other solution to this. Salute the Black Spring with Autumn for telling y'all to hit the like button. The only way we can break free is by opting out. Right? Make sure y'all hit the like button. I don't know, because I'm so smart. I don't know where that's coming from. Am I acting like, is this something that you have to be a super genius to understand, y'all? Do you have to be a mega genius to understand what's going on here? All right, baby girl, you have a good day at school. Apparently, you got to be a super genius to understand what I'm talking about. You all remember when Merrick Garland, during the Biden administration, the Attorney General, Merrick Garland, remember they subpoenaed him and he didn't show up and they held him in contempt, but he wasn't placed under arrest? Who is going to... Merrick Garland is the top cop of the United States government, aside from Donald Trump. He's the second in command. He is the second top. Well, Joe Biden, actually. So it's Joe Biden and then him, the Attorney General. He's the top cop. Who was going to place him under arrest? Anybody know? Y'all see how this works, right? Concentration of power is not only unnecessary, it's dangerous. Y'all got it. Thank y'all for hitting the like button, man. I appreciate it. They have been throttling my channel in the last few days, which I knew was going to happen. You know, they'll throttle you at a certain point. It's all good. You know what I'm saying? But if y'all hit the like button, it'll get out there more and all that good shit. So I appreciate you guys for loving on the like button, as Queen Black Spring would say, for loving on that like button. I really appreciate you guys for coming through. Thank you so much. Are you half Italian? No, I'm not half Italian. Imagine if humans in the United States stopped participating in this madness. Imagine that. You know that on the 28th, there is supposed to be a boycott, just so y'all know. So on the 28th, you're not supposed to spend any money. Y'all know what the 28th is Black Friday. The 28th is Black Friday. So don't spend money on the 28th. It really is helpful. Look, in Italy, because of the wholesale genocide that Israel's committing, and how the Italian government is not really, pushing back against it, the unions of Italy did a nationwide strike, shut down the ports, did all this shit. And guess what? Their government had to concede. But see, it's a little different in Europe, right? It's a little different in Europe. They operate a little differently. They have a lot more cohesiveness in countries like Italy. They can come together under one accord. There's less division going on over there, and that's something that we should look at as well. But see, what I want to do is go full scale withdrawal. Right, first you got to get yourself in the proper position. You got to become more self-sufficient. You got to become more self-sufficient, right? Because once you do that, then they're going to try to make life very difficult for you. Well, to reduce that difficulty, you have to be more in the position to withstand that. So get yourself in the position to be prepared for that aggravation. And then you do your thug thistle. Grasshopper is projecting their homosexuality and their homoeroticism onto me for whatever reason, like y'all tend to do. Some of y'all like to do that. I don't know why. If you think I'm handsome, more power to you. But don't try to make me gay because you're. All right, guys. I got to get out of here. But thank you for coming through. Thank you for hitting that like button. Please hit the like button on the way out. Share this content out however you want to do it. Hopefully I can get on later and do a little bit of showing you guys what's going on with another wealth transfer that Donald Trump just initiated from us to the corporations. We're going to get into that. Hey, this is the real shit. And what do we get for it? We get something that is not really beneficial to us at all whatsoever. So anyway, y'all stay tuned for that. I'll holler at y'all later. Thank you for coming through. Much love. Like, share, subscribe, and let's keep marching forward toward freedom and truth. Peace. The Lunatic Libertarian says, let's do a show together. We have many similar messages. Salute to you, the Lunatic Libertarian. Hit me up at freedomsmarch80@gmail.com, and we could definitely talk about it. freedomsmarch80@gmail.com. We can definitely get into it. I don't have any half. We can have a good march80@gmail.com. Hit my email. Much love, like, share, subscribe. Let's keep marching forward.